Hello, Council Bluffs Area Chamber of Commerce members. This is Drew Camp, President and CEO of the Council Bluffs Area Chamber of Commerce, here for another candidate interview with Scott Belt, who's running for re-election to the Pottawattamie County Board of Supervisors. Scott, thanks for joining us today.
Yep, and welcome everybody. Thanks for having me.
Jumping right into the first question. Obviously you've served on the city council and now on the county board, so you have a pretty good understanding of what's happening in CV proper and in Pottawattamie County. So what do you see as the top issues the county is facing, and how will you address them if reelected?
Well, I think the top issue, not only for Pottawattamie County, but probably for the state, is how do we grow the pie, I guess I would say. And we really need to grow our population. And also at the same time, it's, affordable housing, apartments, townhomes, row homes. We got to get affordable housing to grow the population. And then that equates to workforce. We'll continue to work and collaborate with all of the partners that we have that can come up with some viable solutions, and work with our board here to see what is available for us to make those things happen. To be honest with you, I think that's our population, I think, has continued to decline, and we need to get some younger people, and they have to have a place to live and quality infrastructure and those types of things. So it's not an easy fix.
I agree, and as you know, that's something that we at the chamber, and working with Paula and other key partners that you referenced, are trying our best to do, because that's a challenge everyone is facing, and you have to really be creative and innovative as to how you do it to try to have the best results.
Yeah.
And then moving from kind of the county-centric view to more of the state level, because as you well know, sometimes the state can pass a law or pass something down after a legislative session that can change how you operate as a county board of supervisors. So what is the biggest issue at the state level, and how do you wish to address it or advocate for or against it if you're reelected?
Well, and I think it's the similar issue that we're having. How do we improve the infrastructure to get the housing and then bring the people and grow the pie again? I mean, it's the same issue. I think just continuing to collaborate with our state elected officials, leaders, to promote those pro-growth programs that can help us increase the infrastructure that we need, and then the housing, and then hopefully recruiting the people that can come and fulfill the jobs that we're having available. We're becoming kind of a tech center in some sorts, and we rely a lot on the rural too. They bring us a lot of the base that we've been continuing to work off of. And the agriculture is real important, and there's, I think, a continuing growth with that. So in my time here on the board, we've worked pretty well with the state, and I think we've accomplished quite a bit, but there's more to be done.
I would certainly agree with that. Obviously, the chamber does a lot with advocacy at the state level, and I think we've had a very good last few years on a lot of different fronts. I think we've had a lot of good things happen in the state priorities with this impacts to Pottawattamie County and to Council Bluffs. But as you referenced, there's definitely still some work to do.
Yeah.
And you kind of touched on some of these things, but I always like to, look at a positive perspective and look out ahead and see some exciting things that are on the horizon. So what do you see as some of the biggest opportunities for the county going forward?
Well, I think it's to continue to work with our communities and help them grow. As you're well aware, we're a local control state, so we have to work with them and their councils and such. But I see a huge opportunity for us where we're located in the country I refer to it as the hub. Um, we have the railroad, the interstate, a ton of fiber for logistics companies. Broadband is going to be put pretty much all over the county here in the next couple of years. Got some huge grants for that. How we can work better with regional water and getting some of that infrastructure. And I think the financial stability of the government here is pretty important, and I think they look at that as well as our educational institutions and such. So I think those are the things that we can continue to help each other and collaborate and try to put out the best products we can.
And you referenced some of those opportunities in the outlying areas of the county. Obviously, Pottawattamie County is a very large county, second biggest in the state of Iowa. And I know some of the work that you're doing, partnering with Paula at Advanced Southwest Iowa, Iowa West Foundation, and McClure Engineering out in those communities, it has been impactful as well, just in talking to some of those partners.
Yeah, and we continue to do that work.
Yeah, it's exciting to see what's being come up with and then see what ultimately will come to fruition. So,
yeah.
And then obviously
it will take time.
Oh, it certainly will. But the good news is that there's as you well know, some really good resources out there for the next few years to help fund some of that.
Yes.
And obviously being the voice of the business community here for Southwest Iowa, the Council Bluffs Chamber, the Council Bluffs Area Chamber of Commerce, how do you intend to continue to work with the chamber and the business community to move Pottawattamie County forward?
Well, I think we continue to collaborate with them like we have. I mean, you mentioned a lot of them, the cities, Iowa West 712, the nonprofits, the schools, Iowa Western, workforce development, Paula, Advanced West, Southwest Iowa, MAPA, SWIFTCO. I mean, the small businesses, the bigger businesses, we need to, continue to work with all of those and pay attention to the companies that we have here and make sure we're giving them the proper service that they need. I think those are the keys to continue to grow the pie again.
Thanks, Scott. I'm glad you mentioned existing industry and business retention in there, because Paula and I obviously well know the importance of that. And it's always exciting when we get to go out and celebrate things like we did at Jack's Lanks a few months ago with some of the other expansions, not only here in Council Bluffs, but in other parts of the county where there's growth happening as well. And then as you look at your time on the board and then going forward, what do you see as some unique skills that you bring to the position if reelected?
Well, I think it's always the willingness to listen and to learn, and a lot of times you have to go, and if it's something that needs to be really seen, you have to go out and see it, touch it and feel it type of thing. The ability to, I guess, again, collaborate or lobby with our elected officials, both locally and state and federal wise, are very important. My, I guess, background in public service, budgeting, banking, and being a small business owner for quite a few years and had roughly 100+ employees, and I think are all things that are positives for my experience on the Board of Supervisors and such.
And then always kind of a last catch-all question that you always kind of expect to see in any kind of candidate interview or such as, what sets you apart from the others on the ballot, and why should people vote for you on June 7th versus some of the other contenders running for the same position?
Well, I think the past history of desire and passion to serve people. My goal is to make sure that we have a safe living environment for all of our citizens. I think that's what they look for first. If they're going to be coming to any place, they want to make sure it's a safe living environment. And then sound management for fiscal budgeting and responsible budgeting is the second. And then continuing to collaborate with partners for responsible growth and adequate sustainable infrastructure, I think, is another one. And then the last, I want to improve the quality of life for all the ages of Pot County and all the areas of Pot County. And I want to serve everyone in Pot County, not any particular group.
Well, thank you, Scott. We really do appreciate you taking the time to talk with us today, and best of luck heading into the June 7th primary.
Okay, thank you.